Testing. 1, 2, 3. I hate starting video blogs. I don't know what to say. It's a load of poo. I have developed a theory, and I think, although this theory is open to evaluation and development in some ways, it is legitimate for the scientific community, and I want to share it with you all to see what you think. It is the theory of attraction. I think that whenever you meet a person of whatever gender you prefer, then it's like they have a massive question mark above their head. And the metaphor of this question mark is maybe, perhaps, as you go along making friends with them and talking to them and stuff, sometimes this question mark will diminish. Eventually it just kind of, the question mark goes down, 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 and then it reaches a certain stage where you just wouldn't, and then eventually it just pops out of existence. Just like, a lot of stress is over and done with. However, in some people's cases, very lucky people I'm sure, the question mark stays there as its normal size, like a massive thing. And you'll know these people because you have a kind of like approval, kind of good feeling about you, and I don't really know why. And these people, they'll eventually enter your list. Some people may think they do not have a list, or you might not be aware of your own list. But I assure you, you do have one, because everyone has one. It's a natural, biological thing. Even the people who are frigid to any kind of idea of romance, they have a list. Often theirs is the most developed and saucy list you'll ever did find, but anyway, that's besides the point. It's not a I fancy you list. Don't get that conception. It is merely, if circumstances were slightly different, I would have the capacity to feel attracted towards you. I think that's a very good way of saying it. It may develop into the next stage, and the next stage is a little smiley face. A little colon bracket. I don't really know what's the cause of this. Does it have some kind of prompt or trigger, if you like? I don't quite know. You need to comment on my YouTube video, or whatever you people do, and tell me what is your opinion about this. Because I am a bit the scientific theory, as I told you, is open to development, and this is where you can develop it for me, my friends. Why does a person get a smiley face above their head? I think that's it. Thank you for listening for this theory. I have also had many conversations with my sister about what types of crushes are there. Not really many conversations. We've had one conversation about it, which we have discussed it to not that great length, but I've developed it. The first type of crush is simply a physical crush, the physical attraction. It's lust, but it's also kind of, if you like the idea of someone, I guess. If there's someone like a musician who plays the guitar, who wears badges or braces or nice hats, but it's not a very deep crush. And often, if this is a relationship based on it, then it'll fizzle out pretty quickly. Physical crushes are basically useless unless they're accompanied by another type of crush. Yeah, type 2 is cognitive crushes. Yes, I like that term. It sounds very scientific, doesn't it? Where something gets stuck in your brain, like an idea of them. Say if you have a dream about them, or I can't think of any other examples, or someone says something or something like that, or maybe just a passing thought you had when you were with them, and even if this thought doesn't have a basis, then it can develop in your mind and become a cognitive crush. Cognitive crushes are subdivided into that, which is like mind poo, where you just can't get over the idea and eventually it becomes into actual attraction, and also into evaluating someone's personality who's on your list and thinking, yeah, I can't really see a problem with them. I quite like them, I respect them, and I think they're cool. And it gets bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just like an obsessive well, not really obsessive either. It's like a thought about them which just goes along. And the third one is the emotional crush. And this is often the most amusing and the most traumatic to have, which is most predominant for me in my... yeah. Moving on. This is where you have strange emotions about someone with no factual, logical basis. And this sounds like the cognitive crush, but it's not. This is all in the adrenaline butterflies thing, which is very uncomfortable and often very bewildering. Cognitive is probably the best one to have on your terms, because you're not constantly throwing up your hands in the air at random intervals of your life and going, why, god damn it, why? I'm sure there must be more, but in the meantime I think these will suffice. I hope you're not too weirded out by my deep blah 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 into the human mind, and I hope you agree, otherwise I look like a fool. Thank you for listening to my theory. If you are my father watching this at the moment, please don't mention this. Tally-ho!